Hey guys, welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. I tried to get back on the Void ship, but it actually triggered another event just before we left, so I just got myself here and then did a quick save, and then we'll be heading on up. But first, one last check, nothing. Let's take a look at our level ups. Turns out actually that we ended up getting 2 level ups, so had two ranks of our leveling up to do. So took agility, Medicae because I couldn't get anything else, and I thought, oh well, just get Medicae because we probably need it. And my other stats were a bit too low, I think, and I didn't have demolition actually. I actually wanted demolition, but it wasn't an option for me, so had to go with Medicae. And then the last one I went with Killing Edge. I wasn't sure exactly what to take because I think, yeah, there was Poised to Strike, Dance Macabre, and Fainting Attack. And in the end, I was like, since it's an assassin and we're going for a bit of bursty damage, I figured we'll try Killing Edge and see how that goes. So at least we can have a little bit more use out of the extra AP that we end up having. Heinrix, I gave him Coercion, Willpower, and then Hammer of the Emperor. I don't think I'll be using Heinrix that much more unless the game forces us to bring him. He does have nice buffs, and I didn't really go into the Sanctic powers and stuff, which is probably a bit of a mistake. But yeah, if maybe for future runs, I don't know if I'll do more runs of Rogue Trader on the channel, or if I'll just try and play by myself off screen and then do a sort of wrap up video of all the different build choices I make or whatever. But for now, I think Heinrix isn't going to make it into the team much. I do enjoy our setup with Elliot. For Jay, I took Intelligence, Commerce, and Overwhelming Stratagem, because I think she picked another choice where, another talent or skill where if you use Overwhelming Stratagem, you get some bonuses or something. I initially was going to do that with Cassia, but right at the moment I'm using Cassia as more of a sort of frontliner and DPSer, and she's usually out of range to use all her navigator powers and her officer powers. With Cassia, I went with Fellowship because a whole bunch of other skills were maxed out, so that was the only option. I went with Persuasion and then held in my gaze just so we can have some kind of immobilize beyond Pascal's trap thing. With Abelard, I went with Carouse, Weapon Skill, and Force Distraction, just so that, yeah, to force enemies to prioritize Abelard, and I'm pretty sure he gets a couple of bonuses for being the priority target, and obviously it means the enemies are less likely to target our other party members. And with Pascal, we went with Logic, Ballistic Skill, It Will Not Die, and I just went with Collar Bold for a bit of extra damage. So that's the 2 level ups taken care of, and we're just going to head back to the Void ship now.
The world is full of colors I have never seen before.
Sharp pain pierces your head and the light dims in your eyes. You smell smoke and burning. You feel a wave of nausea. Your legs buckle and your knees hit the metal floor. In that same moment, the Manufactorum surrounding you disappears in a whirlwind of mist, ash, and grey shadows. Struggling against the elements, you can barely raise your head to look. Your eyes sting and burn, but through the tears you see it, a colossal silhouette rising above you. The roaring tempest is unable to shake the mighty figure. Let's try the awareness. You squint and wipe away the tears, and for the moment your vision clears. Before you stands a mighty giant clad in dark power armor, lavishly adorned with bas-reliefs of snarling demons, demonic silhouettes, and punctured with prayer scrolls. 2 braziers are mounted behind his shoulders, burning with unnatural blue flames and emitting thick black smoke that curls and twists upward like a funnel. Behind the giant you catch a brief glimpse of a crumpled figure bound in chains. The warrior's inhuman eyes bore into you. I am the master of those who have been felled by your hand in the halls of the primordial truth. I am Uralon the Cruel. The souls of my followers return to the fount of power they serve, crying out for me to cast my gaze toward this sacrilege. And what do I see? Yet another lackey of the corpse emperor. They call you a hero, an empty word, a worthless pedestal among hundreds like it, all built by the lackeys of the false god in their hubris and ignorance. This pedestal will soon become a sacrificial altar, and you will become yet another reminder to the expanse that no hero can save it from the truth. The giant's voice causes the storm raging around you to die down somewhat, as if the very sound of his voice is enough to make the whirlwind subside. You glance at the huge warrior and notice on his chest a winding azure symbol. The shades of blue seem to glimmer and mingle together. Where are we? Where have you taken me? This is the bridge that connects our minds, created by the will of my slave, whose fate you should be envying. The Psyker is useful enough to me to be left alive, you less so. I am the sovereign of Kiava Gamma. This is my world, not a dominion of chaos. Oh, clinging to illusions will do you no good. The rituals have already been performed. The mortals are already singing the litanies of the primordial truth, or decorating the sacrificial altars with their flesh. Kiava Gamma, as you call it, is already saturated in the nectar of the truth, a fate that awaits all worlds that would stand in our way. What do you want with me? I want to look upon the one who has disrupted my flock's duties and my master's plans. That warrior from my legion, the fabricator censor. You think of their deaths as a triumph. However, it is but a minor hindrance on our path. There are other worlds that serve our goals. There are other sources of plasteel and adamantine. Revel in your victory. It will change nothing. Nevertheless, the blood in your veins whispers to the spirits that you warrant a closer look. Yes, you are a descendant of the rogue trader whose warrant Kunrad Voitvir sought to obtain. By defiling the relic and binding it to himself with the tethers of the Empyrean, he was meant to become my servant. A rogue trader who would do the work of the truth, but then you interfered. Could it be that you wish to gain the true god's favor instead? Do you wish to present the corpse's relic to me and serve the truth? Hear your very blood calling, begging you to submit to me. What would be the point of futile defiance? Oh, well, that doesn't look like it's going to happen, but might be worth a try. You strain every muscle in your body, but cannot move an inch. The dark will presses down upon your shoulders, forbidding you even from straightening your back. You waste your time trying to tempt me. It is not blood that defines a person's deeds, only their will does, and my will is thus. Begone from my mind. His expression twists in pain as he stares at you in rage and bafflement. Pitiful insect, you dare. A gust of wind sweeps Uralon's figure away without a trace. The mist around you begins to dissipate, revealing the dark halls of the Manufactorum, and leaving behind an oppressive sense of powerlessness. Abelard looks you over worriedly, then sighs in cantankerous relief. That was a close call. For the sake of holy terror, if I had lost a second road trader in such a paltry span of time, My only option would have been to shoot myself out of unending shame. I sensed the presence of another psyker. Someone made contact with you mentally, then tried to harm you with sorcery. I did what I could. You at least appear unharmed. Can you remember what you saw? It was a Chaos Space Marine. One of the traitors to the Imperium? I don't think it was he who touched your mind. I wouldn't have had the strength to go up against a psyker from the ranks of those monsters. He might have forced some mortal to do his bidding. Perhaps it was through the same hapless medium that he sensed the deaths of his henchmen. Such undescribable power to have reached out to your mind at such a distance. He said something about Theodora, about how the blood in my veins will lead me to serve chaos. Heinrix stares at you, whether in surprise or anger you do not know. Then he gives a curt nod. I see. We can theorize later, although I will say, Stu, that his words do not leave much room for interpretation. The Manufactorum around you looks the same as before the vision. Maybe the shadows have grown a little deeper and darker. You dust yourself off and continue on your journey through the darkness. The world's industrial heart has fallen to corruption, but numerous faint vox signals from the periphery indicate that the planet's small manufacturing clusters have survived without succumbing to the heretics. The sacred machines and hallowed lathes from those abodes have been reverently transported to the safety of the ship's holds. The fate of Kiava Gamma hangs in the balance. Ancient machinery. Ancient energy core. I guess we're going the iconoclast option. Restore the Manufactorum in the shortest possible time without subjecting the wounded planet to a merciless purge. Heinrix might not like that though. The blast furnaces are lit again. Machines once more fill the air with screeches and squeals, and mag trains of wagons stretch in lines from one workshop to the next. But the cogitators' binaric chants carry alarming rumors of malevolent and foul traces of corruption still lurking in the deepest chambers of the Manufactorum. Okay. Restoration. The Manufactorums of Kiava Gamma have been damaged and tainted by the procedures of the heretic Delphim. A renowned tech architect, the fugitive aristocrat Barabbas Kilius, is offering to enter the rogue trader service as a planetary steward and restore the world to its former production capacity. So it blocks that, we get efficiency, we get plasteel and mechanisms, and we get cursed boots. Whenever the wearer ends their turn, they deal 1 warp damage to each adjacent creature and to the wearer themselves. The wearer also deals an additional conviction heretical rank warp damage to enemies. Okay. Great trials are ahead and we must steel ourselves to face them. The rogue trader will sign a mutual aid agreement with the questors of the Departamento Minatorum. These outstanding theoreticians of warfare will supervise the repurposing of the planet's manufactorums for the production of weapons and military equipment. In the jaws of lathe machines and the wounds of alloy vats, soulless plasteel will take on its highest and most perfect form, that of a weapon. Security plasteel weapons. Dark Marquesa plasma weapon. Okay. That's a pretty decent weapon, I think. Calculating holiness. For generations, the Adeptus Mechanicus have been custodians of the machinery and cogitators of Kiava Gamma. Recognizing the value of this tragedy-stricken world, they are willing to deploy a forged cathedral on it as a token of sympathy. Therein, the blessed fabricator sensor Fortron will envision and lay out a new and more perfect design for the planet. We lose profit factor. We gain mechanism, a weapon, plasteel, 1 complacency. Hand of Xenocide. This weapon deals Law Xenos divided by 4% more damage to Xenos enemies. I think I like this one more. Security, and we get a plasma weapon upgrade for Pasqal, so let's do that. Okay. Is there anything else we need to do? Still executing, still executing, still executing. Okay. Save it here. And let's head back to the bridge and talk to Heinrix. Okay, let's just see what new quests we have. Okay. Talk to Heinrix on the ship's bridge. That's what we're doing. Find the Eldari cache. Last chance of Cyrene. Classified information. Decrypt the data on the personal cogitator. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Have a few things to do here. The sacred mechanism is awake and ready to receive your request. Okay, access the data from Kiava Gamma. Tech Priest connects the data slate to the cogitator's drive with such care as if he is holding the greatest of treasures. Servo motor hums as they begin to stir, and lines of text on the vid screen swiftly replace one another. Okay. The great mechanism has transformed the secret data into a format that you can comprehend without the assistance of a servant of the Omnissiah. The Tech Priest retrieves the data slate from the heart of the cogitator, holding it with both hands, and passes it to you. The databank decryption procedure has been completed without complication. Tech Priest stops short, the green lights of his visor fixed on the cogitator vid screens flicker nervously. Has everything been corrupted by the chaos too on this databank? Strings of numerical code begin appearing with frightening speed. This time the numbers are interspersed with words you can understand, and those words form legible sentences. Epitaph brought her to the beginning. Epitaph begot the incident, that which destroyed and changed everything. The incident became the starting point. The incident breathed life and marked the beginning of all. It marked the beginning of Nomos. It created Nomos. The Tech Priest, now alarmed, is tapping the keys on the control panel. His Banaric prayers give way to distress whispering. Unacceptable deviation, violation of the sacred protocols. Possibility of tech heresy. Omnissiah shield us all from all heresy. A few moments later, the vid screens darken and flicker to life again. What was that just now? The imperfections of the Vox transmission make the Tech Priest's voice sound even more worried. A catastrophic mistake, a heinous violation of the purity of the hallowed code. This mechanism is touched by heresy. It is branded and tainted by it. Now the machine spirit produces code as before, and yet, Lord Captain, heed my plea. All operations on this machine must be halted until the Engineer Prime has inspected it. I saw a word among the lines of code. Nomos. What does it mean? That is a mystery to me. If this mechanism truly is tainted, then could it be? If heresy truly has taken hold of this machine spirit and scorned the Omnissiah's every tenet, then the spirit's madness could be such that it has chosen a name for itself. But that is nothing more than my hypothesis. You'll report this to Pasqal. Tech Priest bows guiltily, and his mechanical voice becomes hollow and dejected. My knowledge is insufficient to cleanse the code of this mechanism. I will inform the esteemed Engineer Prime of this disturbing development. Only he has the power to expel the heresy from this corrupted machine spirit. Okay, this episode looks like it's going to be a lot of dialogue to find out what has happened with the chaos corruption and stuff, so this could be interesting.
The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all.
Okay, he hasn't been told of that databank thing yet. Have you studied Demensa's neural augmetic yet?
I have destroyed it.
A slight telltale rattle in Pasqal's voice makes him sound unconvincing. You're lying.
this statement is true. I am yet to settle into a definitive course of action. I am running a spot diagnostic on the memory of the heretic Demens. Even though purity protocols stipulate that his blasphemous knowledge must be eradicated, I am not drawn toward forbidden information, but only to data concerning the blessed Amanat.
Have you found out anything?
The success has been partial. Demens Haneman's identity has been confirmed. The widespread influence of paranoid motivations is observable in his cognitive processes, which is what seems to have caused him to break his vows. However, extensive regions of his memory have been damaged by forbidden technologies and are, for now, defying decryption. My study of the minds of the tech comrades, Abel, Tarsus, and Demens, has revealed an anomalous similarity between the patterns of damage their memories sustained. What I attributed to cognitive idiosyncrasies, synaptic damage, and the distortive action of scrap code may be the result of a different kind of influence. The undecryptable data fragments in their memory arrays are mysteriously symmetrical.
What corrupted Demens?
An echo of the warp. Energies of the immaterium that had seeped into real space and taken the shape of a Vox signal. I have found recorded cases of similarly induced corruption in the archive. Listening to the void is a perilous occupation.
But you did want to know what he knew. You were interested.
The quest for knowledge is our mission of highest priority. But what Demens promised was not knowledge, but a distorted copy of it. This was not what the Deus Mechanicus had told us to seek.
Any information on Archmagos Amunet?
The data discovered is unreadable. It is encrypted, albeit only partially, and I hypothesize that the heretic Demens was attempting to decrypt it. I will take every effort to extract a larger volume of data. Information pointing to the unit referred to as the Maimed Hunter is alleged to be of critical significance.
Has it ever occurred to you that all of these events may be part of Amanat's plan?
That is a valid hypothesis, but not a very likely one. Its truth value is irrelevant, as it does not contradict the necessity of establishing the fate of Archmagus Amanat.
You fear knowledge even as you extol it.
Whether knowledge can be profane is the grand question. Lay people find comfort in the delusion that knowledge is merely information. That, in and of itself, it is harmless, and only turns dangerous when it falls into the hands of the wicked. My apologies. 90% of my processing power is engaged in the analysis of my tech comrade's memory. My response time may be longer than usual.
Huh. That line of dialogues wasn't the same. But that is not what I have seen. I've seen knowledge gnaw away at the minds of those who let it inside them. Yet I seek it regardless. Why? Perhaps because there really is no apostasy in knowledge. It is dangerous, yes, but not forbidden, for it was created by the Omnissiah. First one seems a bit too dogmatic. Not all knowledge comes from the Omnissiah. Some is rooted in evil and is nothing but a threat to humanity. Yeah, fair enough. Maybe. I believe that any and all knowledge can be tamed for the glory of humanity. You seek knowledge because it's what you enjoy doing, so what do you enjoy? Otherwise, what's the point? So do what you enjoy, otherwise what's the point of living? Let's go with 2.
There is a threat in everything. A lasgun once exploded in its owner's hands for the first time. A cyclonic torpedo once fell on a virtuous world. for the first time. Heresy was once uttered in the sacred binaric language for the first time. No thing of great power is ever safe. But not all that is dangerous is evil. Few will dare say it in so many words. But some of our knowledge was obtained from corrupted sources. By studying the creations of Xenos, we grasped profound secrets of the universe that they had discovered, and we had not. By pondering heresies, we devised technological solutions to exterminate them. We drew knowledge from a poisoned well, filtered it, and attained comprehension.
Tech Priest lowers his head pensively. The mechadendrites slow down smoothly, and the steely overtones disappear from Pascal's voice.
Response? Affirmative. The decryption will continue with diligence and caution. May your labors be effective and fruitful.
Okay, let's talk to Heinrix now.
To what do I owe this visit?
Yikes, we can hand them over to the Inquisition. Are you satisfied with the results of your mission on Kiava Gamma?
More than. The data we retrieved is already in the hands of the Inquisition, in the custody of those who can extract the secrets of the future from the claws of chaos. The sacrifices made to the Cogitator will not have been for nothing. We dealt a blow not only to the cultists, but to the archenemy itself. I cannot help but be pleased. However, there is something I must tell you. Back there, at the Cogitator, my decision to let it complete its operation allowed me to... I can't even find words, to perceive something of what is to come. You deserve to know this. The cult is threatening the worlds within your protectorate, after all. I could choose to think of it as an echo of the past, or a specter of the future. But that's not it. Warp sorcery joins stretches of time together, violating the accepted sequence and flow of events. I heard a resonance of the person behind the cult. I faced demons more than once before, but this... I couldn't have imagined such a concentration of evil and corruption. I am convinced that one of the greater demons is behind the cult of the Final Dawn. Beware the day when that demon finds a way to appear in this world.
Let's go with the first option. Touching the Cogitator did something to you. I want to know why.
No servant of the God Emperor has closer dealings with corruption than the agents of the Golden Throne. In its quest to guard the Imperium against its foes' most devious and secret schemes, the Inquisition seeks to understand the essence of evil. It is not enough for us to burn or cut down a rotten seedling. We must study it, understand it, touch it. Every time any of us do our duty, we are risking our very souls. But when it comes to Psykers, the soul of a Psyker is especially enticing to the archenemy. I was operating the machine created by the servants of the archenemy, and in doing so, I attracted the attention of the cult's master. Thank the throne that it was only a glancing touch. If it hadn't been, we would not be speaking here today. When I touched the cult's Cogitator, I drew the thousand-eyed gaze of evil upon myself, as any agent does when they interfere in the schemes of those who serve the ruinous powers. And that evil undoubtedly left an invisible mark upon me, as it does on any acolyte who fights against the archenemy. And this will be the case every time I do my duty. I know a good deal about the fates of those who have served the throne before me. Enough to know that my path leads to one place, and one place only.
What are you going to do next?
My visit to Kiava Gamma did not produce answers to all my questions, but we did succeed in dealing a blow to the cult by destroying the Fabricator Sensor's machine. I have directed my spies to track the sect's surviving leaders. I am certain that they will have useful information for us soon. Though small, this is a victory for the Golden Throne, and I have you to thank for it.
I think that will be all for now.
Thank you for finding the time for our conversation.
I want to discuss the Cult of the Final Dawn. What can you tell me about it?
The cult's ordinary members are humans who have been corrupted by the archenemy, traitors to the Imperium, and accomplices of chaos. Participation in the cult's rituals always entails brainwashing, literally and figuratively. The longer cult members spend among other cultists, the less critically they think, and the more closely they resemble obedient livestock, stripped of their fear and instinct for self-preservation. The worst of them go to their deaths without an inkling of doubt, ready to take hundreds and thousands of souls with them. As for those at the top of the cult's hierarchy, we have not yet managed to get a lead on all of the cult's leaders. I imagine that some of them are hiding in the depths of the Coronis Expanse, but those who are orchestrating the fanatics on nearby worlds are hiding very well indeed, or receiving protection from above.
What do you mean, protection from above?
Governors, commanders, rogue traitors. History is full of those who neglect their duty to the Golden Throne and seek allies in the wrong places.
You seem to have been investigating this cult for some time.
We discovered the first traces of it as soon as we arrived in the Coronis Expanse. Since then, the more we learn, the better we see just how far the roots of this blight extend. Destroying individual cells is pointless. We must cut this beast off at its head.
Okay.
As you wish.
Alright, save it here. That was some interesting stuff. Now we need to figure out what we want to do. Okay, we know where that is, so probable location. Lapidus Mortis, Last Chance of Cyrene, Litoribum Maledicta. So we have that. 2 things to do on Last Chance of Cyrene. The Eldari Cache is there, which is the other thing we need to go there for. The Protectorate is strong as long as it is growing. Stable, sated domains inevitably begin to crumble by claiming a new planet at his property. The Lord Captain will prove that House von Valantis has not lost any of its ambition or strength. Complete a development project of the highest difficulty in any colony, and then we have to go back to Footfall to have a chat with people. Okay. First of all, let's go have a look at the shops. Can we get to a higher level? I doubt we're getting to the Deadly Repeater anytime soon. But let's take a look. 2050. Okay. Almost. Not quite. Missed by 200. Let's put some stuff into cargo. You know what? We can do that later. I'll do that later off screen. What I do want to check out. Oh, Void Pirate Trophy. Okay. Yeah, we'll give Pasqal this one. Whenever the wearer hits an enemy with a Deadeye shot, it reduces the enemy's deflection by +1, by -1. Applies 1 exploit. Well, don't need that. It does stack. Okay. Well, I'm gonna give Elliot that item that I just took off. What was that item? Is it this one? Yep. Target designator, so we'll give that to Elliot. I'll do Elliot's level up afterwards too. What is this? Mazoa pattern plasma gun. Okay, well this one's way better, even better than the one we're going to get from that mission, the colony mission. Add the cargo. Omniscient axe. Uses brutal strike for attacks of opportunity. Okay. Pasqal just got some massive upgrades. Could also use a melter gun, although that's not what we're having at the moment. Arc rifle. Nice upgrade, let's take that. Power sword, might hang on to that. Chain axe. Unholy amulets. Void heretic trophies. So we've got a few things that can help us level up our Imperial Navy. Our Imperial Navy reputation. Portable cogitator. Bonus to logic. Is that for Pasqal? It's got plus 30 to tech use at the moment, so maybe. We can always hang on to that one and use it later, but I think that's good for now. Let's head back to the Coronis Expanse map and start traveling again. Okay, everything's explored here. Let's go to the big map. We've explored there. We've explored everything around here. Where we haven't explored is over here. Yes, okay, and then Tenebrous Aquay to Adamat. Huh, okay. Let's go back to Telecos Epsilon, and then we'll to the Imperium. Can we actually go there? Yeah, let's go back to Telecos Epsilon. Chart a course to Furibundus. 19, okay, let's make it safe. And let's go back there. I want to have a chat with Vladame. Okay, Beer Boss has begun a new stage of development. Lord Captain, there's been a tragedy on Dargonis. Governor Drivestem has been dedicating most of his time to restoring the astropathic choir lost to the warp storms. But the psychers he assembled were struck by an unknown assault. They heard something, and it has cast them into madness. The astropaths have lost sleep, clawed at their skin to the flesh, muttered gibberish, and now they have gone completely berserk. They had to be eliminated, and now only a few of the most resilient astropaths are upholding the connection to Dargonis, but how long will they last? Where did the former astropaths come from, and can we get more of them? I've received complaints that Governor Drivestem has devastated the minor astropathic choirs of the Protectorate. He scaled them down by almost half through blatant abuse of his authority. To take more people from these choirs would mean depriving ourselves of the connections with other worlds. We could try to hire sanctioned psychers from other domains, but they will few as the road to the Imperium is perilous. We can try getting by with the resources that are already available to us. Seek out the unsanctioned astropaths who train those psi-active citizens of the Protectorate displaying promise. A most regrettable violation of his laws caused by our grave situation. What is the cause of this affliction? Who knows? The schemes of the heretics from the cult of the Final Dawn, the treacherous magic of the Xenos. Perhaps it was a planned diversion, or maybe it was a random echo in the Immaterium. Okay. The astropaths are among the most finely trained specialists in the Imperium who beheld the light of the Emperor himself and gained a special bond with our master. I strongly advise the rogue trader to recruit only sanctioned psychers who are capable of keeping their talents in check. If there are not enough, the Inquisition will assist you in locating and acquiring more. Your Lordship, Lady Theodora not only had enemies in the Expanse, but friends as well, those whom she helped out, rescued and saved. I think these people can offer a helping hand. Among them are several powerful planetary rulers who possess both astropaths and a deep respect for your family name. There are a lot of psychers on my home planet Lyra, Lord Captain. Do you know why? There we are not despised, persecuted, or enslaved on the black ships. There we are sheltered from raids, educated and respected. Of course it is all done in secrecy from outsiders, but I can suggest which ruler to contact. Perhaps the Von Valancius family name will be enough to make a deal and obtain a more educated group of astropaths rather than some criminal rabble. Okay. Witch Collector. The Rogue Traders party gain fellowship bonus divided by 2 momentum when using any Psyker or Navigator powers. Okay, that's interesting. Security +1 Disciple of the Damned. Demons, Chaos Creatures, Psychers, and Navigators deal 10% less damage to the Rogue Trader and their allies. Demons, Chaos Creatures, Psychers, and Navigators deal 10% less damage to the Rogue Trader and their allies. That's pretty good, actually. While Veil degradation is equal to or more than 10, the wearer deals willpower plus perception bonus percentage additional damage with all psychic powers. Okay, that's quite interesting. Let's go with Theodora's old friends. That's a nice debuff to enemy attacks. A buff for us, I suppose. It will be done. I wonder how many of them are still alive. That is a good question. Ship carrying 24 astropaths soon arrived on Dargonus. They have descended to the surface covered head to toe with protective amulets as if going to war. The news of the tragedy that befell the previous choir quickly spread throughout the expanse. Each of them conveyed words of amity from the rulers who had sent them, and each asked permission to visit the family crypt to pay tribute to Lady Theodora. The tragic pestilence of the astropaths has not appeared again, but all of them have reported hearing strange whispers ever since their first day on the planet. Adeptus Arbites, Boots of Victory. Whenever the wearer performs a heroic act, they recover all their wounds and gain 2 AP this turn. Okay. Rank 3 is all done. Genetic Mercy. We do need people. This requires 3 people. Requires 2 people. Well, we definitely need more people, so I guess we're going this one. Problem is, I don't know if we're going to end up missing out on... Well, there's quite a few more slots, so yeah. Let's get people. Lord Captain, the astropathic choir have caught glimpses of horrifying visions coming from Viabos 6. Something has breached the colony from underground. Soon after, a new sector of deep tunnels has been put into operation. It was overrun by monsters. They lurk in the darkness, swarm in the shadows, attack quietly, and leave nothing in their wake, consuming flesh, plasteel, and rockcrete. The churring of 1,000 claws heralds their approach, and desperate cries can be heard in the silence of the tunnels. Praise be to the Golden Throne, these creatures do not seem to be interested in getting to the surface. However, they have seized several active mines and are doing Emperor only knows what. What are those creatures? None who face them have survived to tell the tale. The frightened workers call them a swarm because they crawl along the tunnel like a wave. They say that the enemies are vast in number and are insect-like. One of the workers who was lucky to survive the attack has since come up to the surface. The horror drove him mad, but he held a wrench covered with strange engravings. The pattern was exactly the same as the one that the mad convicts had been etching into the walls. What? None who faced them have survived to tell the tale. One of the workers who was lucky to survive the attack? Seems a bit contradictory. What think my advisors? The threat is unknown. Establishing the nature of the threat is the top priority. Collateral losses are insignificant. Requesting authorization to coordinate an offensive operation to be carried out by penal battalions in order to determine the nature of the attack. We have to block off this threat and protect the people. To do this, we must blow up the tunnels, but to make sure that the plan works, it has to be done in zones currently occupied by this unknown enemy. I'm sure that a dozen brave men can be found in the colony, ones willing to accept the grace of martyrdom and descend into the darkness with the explosives. Okay. Carapace fragment. This item negates all energy damage dealt to the wearer, but it cannot occur more than 3 times per combat. Okay. Carapace fragment as well. Alright. Choose convicts ready to atone for their misdeeds through the honor of martyrdom. Give them explosives and send them to blow up the tunnels. All allies gain plus 10 demolition and deal 10% more fire damage. Viceline and Prometheum become a raging, all-destroying force in the hands of the rogue trader. Okay. Blow up the tunnels to prevent any more casualties. Still Master of the Inferno. I guess we're choosing the convicts one. Heed my words, for I ask of you to kindle the flames of faith in your chest, against which no corruption can withstand. Making a sign of the Aquila with their hands, a dozen martyrs wearing explosive vests have descended into the darkness. Their belief carried them toward their gracious death in his name. A series of tremors shook the mines, and the monstrous roars of crumbling earth filled the empty tunnels. Clouds of toxic smoke have erupted from the depths of the mines. The blockage of stone and dirt has separated people from these terrible invaders, whoever they were. Okay. Extractium Metallica. 5. Mobile Extractium. 6 plasteel, more reputation with explorators. Okay. Fellowship. Profit factor +2. Profit factor +3. And vigilance. A marvelous compact weapon in the form of a ring that allows... Oh, this is the melter ring. That's pretty cool, actually. Drusians. Lair in the void. 1 mechanism for plasteel. 1 chemical for 2 efficiency. Okay. Colony traits. Okay. Let's leave this for now, I guess. Don't have many options. Oh, this does block those 2. Explorators. Mobile Extractium. 3 profit factor. 2 profit factor. going to take a while to reach this one, though. Dreamless. 1 chemical. Or 2 efficiency. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do efficiency. Oh, I guess it blocked that. Oh, it blocked everything else, so there's only a certain amount of rank 2. Okay. There's only a certain amount of rank 2 that you can do. Fair enough. So 1 at rank 1 and 1 at rank 3. And we're at the limit now. Okay, fair enough. Well, I guess that was kind of a mistake, but I didn't know that was what would happen, and there was a limit, so that can't be helped. In any case, let's visit now. I'll head straight into Footfall, and I might just cut out everything to do with travel and just come back when we're on Footfall, so see you then. Shireen, if you find a spare minute on Footfall when you are not deciding a lackluster fate, I would be delighted to see you at my America in the Amasekis. I'll tell Octi to set aside some decent wine in case you decide to grace our humble party with your luminous presence. America, is that some kind of celebration? It is an occasion celebrated on my world, Efreet. It is the day when a person shows by their actions that they have reached maturity, that their spirit is ennobled. Among the Efreetian nobility, this day is considered more important than other symbolic events such as the first crier or the first day of repose, or the day of repose. And by a wonderful coincidence, my America happens to fall on the day when I also wish to celebrate my acquisition of the Mercatum Tabula Officiale. It would be my pleasure to attend your party. The lowly regulars of the Amasekis will be telling their great-grandchildren about the time they had the honor of witnessing your dazzling visit to that unworthy dive, Shireen. That is, of course, if they live long enough to see their great-grandchildren. Okay, Jay is already down at the party then, I guess. Okay, I'll level up Elliot and Argenta and then come back, and then we'll make our way over to the Amasekis. Although this looks like it might be, yeah, it's already in the Martyr's Endurance. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, we're back, and I've leveled up Elliot and Argenta.
And worlds long gone. What a shame that you lack the capacity to understand even a single note.
For Elliot, I went with Flay the Bold because we took Cull the Bold, and that'll give us a bit more oomph when we use an attack after using Cull the Bold. Demolition, because I think we'll be switching between Argenta and Elliot, so I'll give Elliot Demolition. She also took Agility, and then I couldn't really take any other talents. I didn't find anything else particularly compelling, so I went with Base Skill Demolition, just so she gets a bit more. And then I took Piercing Shot, because I think I took Raid with Pasqal. If I'm not mistaken. Did I? No, I took Cull the Bold. Maybe I didn't take Raid. Maybe I should have taken Raid, I don't know. But that's fine. Went with Piercing Shot. And then we had quite a few levels with Argenta. So I went with Cautious Approach, Bolt Weapon Expert, Demolition, Critical Versatility, Ballistic Skill, Overpower to boost the crit chance and crit damage, Heavy Gunner, less action point used, demolition again, agility, and then I took the stacking crit hit chance. Not sure if it's particularly necessary. We should be able to boost the crit chance quite a bit as it is, but I figure this can't hurt. Awareness, accustomed to glory. So yeah, ideally we would try to use our heroic actions or heroic abilities quite often, so this should stack up quite nicely. Agility, breaking point, more damage, and for Argenta. And then I took confident approach because I didn't find the others very compelling, so that's what we did with Argenta. And I think for now this is a good place to end the episode. Save it here, and then the fact that Jay is here and she's not in our party, and also that we picked more people up to come straight here. I suspect there's going to be a fight of some sort, so I think this is a good place to end the episode. We kind of debriefed after Kiava Gamma. We figured out, or we tried to figure out what was going on with the chaos stuff, and it does look like things are really kicking off now. And then we're back to Footfall here, just so that we can celebrate with Jay, and then we'll talk to Vladane, see if fulfilling the provisions request for him has helped us out in any way, because I don't think we got any reputation bonus for that, and I think we should talk to him to see if he'll reward us somehow. So as I said, I'm expecting there's going to be some kind of fight here, so that will happen in the next episode. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.